Hello world and welcome back to Goochies BBQ. My name's Ian and on today's episode we'll be cooking pork belly burnt ends. If you're new to barbecuing and you're looking for that first cook, I would highly recommend you try pork belly burnt ends. It's a super simple cook and it's sought after by absolutely everyone. And it all starts off with some belly pork. So I picked up this belly pork from my local supermarket here. I've got pork belly strips, which is really convenient because it saves me stripping them up. And what you want to do is go for skin off pork belly. If you do get it with the skin, it's not a problem. You just get your knife and cut them off. But basically what we're going to do is to cube these up, get them into some seasoning and then get them into smoke. So let's get cubing. Round one. So super simple. What we want to do is just cube these up into about 1-inch cubes or so. That's kind of what you're looking for really. Just something like that. And basically we chuck them into the bowl and we'll get some seasoning on. The seasoning we're doing today is going to be a sweet seasoning. So it's going to be my barbecue rub, which is high in sugar. And you know, sweet stuff with barbecue, with pork is always going to be good. So that's what you're kind of looking for. It's that kind of size. And we'll chuck them all into the bowl. So now we've queued up the pork belly, it's time to get some seasoning on. We're going to be using Goochies BBQ rub, which is a high sugar seasoning. And basically what we want to do is give that a nice healthy coating all over. Don't be shy on using the seasoning, just mix it up in the bowl. Make sure every single ounce, every single centimetre of this is completely covered. And this is what you want to be looking for. Once it's completely seasoned, you can see every one of these is completely covered. And what we're going to do is transfer them onto a wire rack and leave them to hang out while we fire up the grill. So now we've transferred the pork to the wire rack, it's time to fire up the pit. Today we'll be cooking indirect, which means your heat will be away from the meat. This can be achieved either with an offset smoker or with a kettle grill. What you need to do is make sure that you put your coals away from the side of your meat, of where you're cooking. So basically on the offset, you put your heat into the offset basket and then your meat on the other side. If you do not have an offset, do not stress. It can easily be achieved if you have a normal drum barbecue with a lid. All you need to do is to put your coals, your briquettes or your lump charcoal to one side and then put your heat to the other side. It's as simple as that. So let's fire up our grill. So our pit's now up to temperature. We're going to be rocking around about 250 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 120 degrees Celsius. We're using our charcoal to produce the heat, but we're going to be using oak chunks to produce the smoke. So let's get our meat onto the grill. So our pork belly is now on the pit and it's going to take around about 2 hours to get enough smoke on. After that, what we will do, we'll take them off, we'll get them into tin foil, we'll get some butter on there, some barbecue sauce on there, we'll get them wrapped up, put them back on the pit to get them tender. What we will do in between there is check in about an hour's time just to see how the rub has set and also to give them some spritz with some apple cider vinegar and some Worcestershire sauce. So let's check back in about an hour. Okay, so we've been on the pit now for about an hour and a bit, and it's time to give them a spritz. So let's take a look. As you can see, they're looking really nice. And what we want to do is just spritz over there, just to add another layer of flavour, just to keep them moist. We've also got some nice beef ribs cooking on there as a separate cook. And what we'll do, we'll probably spritz every 15 minutes now, maybe for the next half an hour to 40 minutes. And then what we'll do, we'll get them off into a pan, some barbecue sauce, some butter, and we'll get them tender. So let's chat back in about an hour's time. So it's been about 2 hours now. We've taken them off the pit and we've transferred them from the wire tray into a tin foil pan. So now it's time to get them tender. And to get them tender, it's super simple. And what we're going to do, we're just going to chuck in a few knobs of butter into the pan and then use your favorite barbecue sauce. So I've got Red's Kansas City sauce, it's one of my favorites, and what you want is a good healthy splash in there. So it looks something like that. We'll put a tinfoil cover on them, and what we'll do, we'll just place them back on the pit, and it's probably only going to take another 35 minutes, and these are going to be done. They're going to be super smoky, super barky, and super tender. So come and check back in another 30 minutes. So it's been about 2.5 hours now, and these pork belly burnt ends are done, and they're looking absolutely brilliant. Fantastic. Look at these. So let's get these on the board and let's take a look at them, shall we? So juicy, ridiculously barky, and so cheap and easy to do. Like I say, any novice, you know, can do this, cook, and it's a great way, you know, a brilliant appetizer. And these will just go. You need to make sure you got a big pile of these, because these, you know, your friends and your family or whoever you're doing your cook for, these will just get munched up and they just look brilliant. So let's get some of this. Let's get some of this butter, this barbecue sauce just glazed on top of this. I mean, come on. Look at these. Do you want any shots of crabs going everywhere? So before I dig into these, let's just recap on what we did. So I got some pork belly slices from a local supermarket. I cubed them up to about inch and a half segments. We chucked them into a bowl. We used some sweet barbecue seasoning. Then we placed them onto a wire rack and put them on the pit. We ran indirect heat, round about 250 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 120 degrees Celsius, for about an hour and a bit. Then we started spritzing them with apple cider vinegar and Worcestershire sauce, probably every 15 to 20 minutes or so, for another additional hour. So they spent about 2 hours on the pit. We then took them off, put them on a tinfoil tray, added some butter, added some barbecue sauce, put a foil cover on it, and then put it back on the pit for another 30 to 40 minutes. And now they've taken them off and they look, I mean, just look absolutely fantastic. So let's dig in. Oh man, it's just so easy to cook. This is why, you know, it's such a great cook for the novice, for the amateur cook. It's just amazing. You put a big plate of these out on the table, they're going to be gone in seconds. So thank you for watching. If you like what we're doing on this channel, please hit that subscribe button and we'll see you again on the next video. Thank you.